So let's talk about a highly confusing subject for most voice actors, which is the buyout. This word terrifies a lot of voice actors who are early in their journey because they're worried that their voiceover career will be ruined if they accept a buyout. And this is not always the case. So, what exactly is a buyout? So, a buyout is when a voiceover client pays you to use your recordings for a certain period of time. Sometimes that period of time is forever, indefinite, aka in perpetuity. So a buyout, just to make sure we're clear, a buyout doesn't always mean in perpetuity, but a full buyout is in perpetuity, and that is not always a bad thing. Okay. So what's the difference between a buyout and a rebuy? So a buyout is what I just said. They say, hey, we want to use your recording for a certain period of time in a certain market. Okay, great. Or we want to buy it out forever. And we'll talk about that in a second. But a rebuy is an agreement to use it again for an additional period of time. So you may get booked for a commercial and it'll run 6 weeks. And then they say, okay, that was great. We'd like to run it for another 6 weeks. And then they get to pay you again, which is very, very tasty. Often the rebuy rate and length of usage is often the same as the original, but it can vary 6 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever. And buyouts and rebuys are very common in non-union voiceover work. So as an example, let's look at a genre that I do all the time: explainer videos. I narrate tons and tons of explainer videos all the time. So first thing, this is a non-broadcast genre. Okay. And usage, there's a big difference in usage. If you listen to my last blog about voiceover rates, there's a big difference when it comes to usage for broadcast and non-broadcast. You can click on that video to check that out. So explainer videos are these roughly 1.5, 2 minute, they're sort of advertisements. They're kind of a cousin between e-learning and commercials. So they're selling a product or a service or a company, but they're also teaching you a little bit about it as opposed to just advertising for it. So it's too long to be a commercial, which means it's not going to be a TV commercial. It just won't be there. Also, it's highly unlikely that it would be used as an internet ad because it's just way too long and the format is just not an advertising format. So when somebody comes to me and says, hey, we would like you to do this explainer video, I assume that whatever they're going to pay me, that explainer video is going to wind up on the company's website, on a social media platform or multiple social media platforms, probably on YouTube and possibly on another video platform like Vimeo or something like that. So that usage fee for that sort of thing is folded into the cost of what they're going to pay me. So I don't think I've ever separated a usage fee from a session fee for an explainer video. It's like, okay, we'll pay you this. And it's like, okay, great. And then I assume they're going to do that with it. Because like I said, since it's not broadcast content, it's not created, it's not the content, the length, the format, everything. It just isn't broadcast content. So I don't sweat it. So if a voice seeker is asking a voice actor to use their voice for a broadcast commercial, TV, radio, internet ad, social media boost, whatever, in perpetuity, run. Don't do it. Because that's not good, because that could create all sorts of conflicts and exclusivity problems that could seriously damage your career. So please keep that in mind. So just keep this in mind, that if a voice seeker is offering a full buyout for non-broadcast content, most of the time that's okay. If a voice seeker is asking for full buyout of broadcast content, most of the time that is not okay. Okay. So a little tip is, if you book a voiceover gig and there's usage of some sort for a certain period of time for a certain amount of money, make a note of that. I use Google Calendar. So use your iCalendar or a spreadsheet or a whiteboard, whatever. Post-its, if that's your thing, because that way you know exactly how long the usage is. And if you have any conflicts with that particular gig, that way you know that within that period of time, you're not allowed to voice products or services for anything similar, Coke, Pepsi, McDonald's, Burger King, whatever. But when that usage expires, that buyout expires, then you're done, or they may want to rebuy. So I always recommend make a note on whatever, because when it's getting close to that buyout terminating, you can reach out to the client, and it's always great to find an excuse to reach out to the client and say, hey, just letting you know that this buyout is gonna end soon. Would you like to renew it? Would you like to do a rebuy? Would you like to give me more money for free? Well, it's not them for free, for you for free, but you know what I mean. So that's a good tip. This weekend, September 10th and 11th, I will be speaking at the Vocation Business and Marketing Voiceover Conference here in New York City. Yes, I'm very excited about it. It's going to be 2 days that are going to be chock full of amazing business and marketing content with some amazing presenters from all over the country. I, at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday morning, will be leading a speech. I'll be leading a speech. I'll be giving a speech about the practical voiceover actor, which are all the things you need to do and be and have and think to be an effective voiceover business in the 21st century. On Thursday, September 15th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be hosting a YouTube live event called Ask Me Anything. And in that hour, you can ask me anything about the voiceover industry, the business, the marketing, the genres. How do I get into it? Pay to plays, agents, union, non-union, anything you want to ask me about pertaining to the voiceover industry, I am at your service. So make sure that you go to vostrategist.com, sign up, register for the event. It's free to attend. You'll get a ticket, and within that ticket, it will have the YouTube live link. So September 15th, 2 p.m., you can be there. Thanks for watching this video. Please make sure that you click like, share, tell your voiceover friends and non-voiceover friends about this and all the other videos in my library.